Let me know when you're
This is
rolling.
Ronnie Bellarmino. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so for setup and tear down, and particularly for tear down, the very first thing that we got to put in is the stage monitor. This is the stage monitor that sits up on actual stage that we film for services. The reason being is because all this other stuff files in afterwards. So put the stage monitor in first, and then accordingly you can just stack in as they're ready. The cable trunk with the subs on top of them, the stage rack, and the main tops, which on top of that we'll have the lighting case, and then on top of the stage rack we'll have the ears tree, and then up here you simply put the confidence monitor bracket along with the music stands. Important. We're asked to try to keep everything within our footprint. So if you look down below me, there's a white line. We try to keep all of our gear within the white lines of the that's painted on the floor. So typically this is where we put all the music stands. So before you put the music stands in the room, make sure that this is in place, because what will end up happening is they'll just start accumulating on the floor, and there's no room to negotiate or move anything around. Okay. So that's this side of the floor. Oh, then lastly, the iPod stands and the new signs, which direct everybody towards newcomers, and the information area will also go up here. So anything basically that goes in last, you want to try to keep and stage outside until all the, it's kind of the old put the big rocks in the jar first kind of a thing. So again, first the stage monitor, followed by the cable trunk and the subwoofers, and then pretty much everything else can start stacking in, because once that space is filled in, then you can bring in music stands, the mic stands, etc., that all fill in this area.
Okay, let's
It's kind of dark in here, but we'll do the best we can. Okay, so to our second area, again, we have a painted area that we have to try to keep things within this designated space. But if, again, the order of sequence that I found best to put in here is to try to get the keyboard in the case and stacked up against this wall, because people will have the propensity to start, sticking stuff on the floor here, because when they move the keyboard out, all the sandbags are out, and they think, oh, there's a cool space right here, because it's real quick and dirty to just come in here and drop something in the white square. Don't do that. Put this in here first, and then stack it up so that it's secure and it's in its place. The rest of this is pretty much self-explanatory. These are all the signs that we have up in the back of the room when you see church, with all of the messaging that we have in the back. These are the 4 signs: 1, 2, 3, and 4. These all stay up here, and then the only other thing that goes in this area is the equipment, the cabling, and the monitor and equipment for front of house, which is basically stuff that we use to record services for the iMac and for recording. Below this, the second deck down, we have drums. Drums and cymbals are always to the right side of the second rack. And then all the Pelican cases that have, whether it's video equipment, microphones, in-ear monitors, and any other accessories that we use on stage for worship, all go on the second shelf next to the drums. And then from time to time, Pastor Marcus will use his pedal board, and that just gets stuck up here along with the Pelican cases. And then below, really what's most important is the confidence monitor. The confidence monitor is in this lower left-hand corner, and then we now stick the curtain that we use to partition the bathroom areas off here in between, just to give it some extra protection. And then the rest of these here are additional storage for tech equipment, and then for first impressions and parking and such. This space in between is reserved for the new sign that we use in the foyer area for the information station. And then up here, on top, this is reserved for the sandwich boards, for the signs outside. So don't put anything here. I know it's tempting to throw something up there, but leave that space open for the sandwich boards. And then this is, again, extra tech gear. We have a toolbox in here and some other stuff that we use on occasion, like the hosts for communion. Okay, this is important as well. So I forgot to mention, before you really start stacking any of this stuff in here, it's good practice to put in the poles and the pipe and drape basically for the area that we pipe off front of house and the bathrooms near the front of the stage. Those go back here along with these the poles for the mains, because these are what hold up the main speakers to the subwoofers. Those all go in here, and again, it's good practice to get these in first, just because it gets difficult afterwards if everything just gets piled in here and then they get laying around and they can get lost. Along with the keyboard stand, as you can see, and then the guitar fret rest. So those items are, you know, what you want to stick in that corner.
Excellent.
That's it.
That's it. And then we have these over here.
Oh yeah, these are simply the trusses that we use for lighting and for the camera mount. So you just want to make sure that you're clear when the guys that are moving them in for setup and tear down have ample space to put it in, because they're heavy. So,
thank you, Ronnie.
Any questions? Let me know.